Houseology Live.
Houseology Live.
Houseology Live.
Houseology Live.
Houseology Live.
Houseology Live on Humble House Radio.
Monday.
There you go. You can't even get it out. That's how much of a Monday
that
it is.
I've ever experienced in my life.
It is the most Monday.
The most
If anyone else-
mundane Monday of
If
Mondays.
anyone else is feeling the Mondayness,
Let us know.
give us a call and tell us what happened to you.
Absolutely. Yep.
727-342-0550. What's up, everybody? It's Houseology Live. I'm DJ Ketone.
And special guest,
I have a
apparently.
special guest here, DJ Tiny but Mighty in the building. What's up, DJ Tiny?
Hi.
We have Rave Daddy Robbie over there. What's up,
Hola.
Rave Daddy?
Recovering from the weekend still.
Yeah, you were at it, man.
Yo,
Yep.
yeah.
I'll
You're at it.
eventually be okay in 2 or 3 more days.
What's up, Volume?
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
You've been busy too.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
tired today.
Yeah, it was,
busyness.
This weekend's been crazy. You were down at the Pride Parade. Both of you two were doing Pride this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yes.
You
Lots of
were
Pride.
you were actually in the parade. Yeah, we did a little thing. We did a little
Yeah.
something up in the at the pier.
We all celebrated Pride.
Of course, it's St. Pete.
And don't adjust your streams or anything, people. I have the twitchy green effect on that camera. Just don't worry about that.
So you were actually in the parade. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So this was my third year. Third parade rather, Pride Parade, and I've always rode I've been riding the Enterprise rental car float, which I got on last year, and it was really cool with them this year because they just were so. I think they finally warmed up to me, so they were all really chatty and thankful and excited. I walked up and they were like, "I was like, oh great, you're back again," and and all that stuff. And it was great. I had Gio Leone doing my media and stuff, so I'll be posting tons of pictures and videos probably Tuesday or Wednesday, somewhere in that ballpark.
Awesome.
And
Were you driving that car? They were driving that car around town?
yes, that's correct. That's what we did. Yes,
That
we did
looked
that
fun.
last year, and we did that again this year. Last year, when we were leaving the parade, we theoretically got lost in the neighborhood behind the Vinoy.
Okay.
And we got turned onto a dead end road, and we had to back around and. Although keep in mind we're on a giant flatbed truck, and then we had to kind of weave our way out of that neighborhood, and then we're driving through the neighborhood and then driving through downtown, and I just kept the music on and kept DJing the whole time, and so that's what we did again this year, and I let Gio actually DJ that whole thing, and he was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool!" And it was
He
like,
looked like he loved it.
oh yeah, we were driving down there, and people are waving at us and whistling and honking their horns and all that kind of stuff. It was great. It really is. But yeah, it was a huge turnout again for the crowd. I told Gio, I said, "Listen, bro, when we turn this corner, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of people. It's like you're gonna
I think
pull
it was
out
somewhere upwards of like 20,000 people
Oh, I bet.
that I read somewhere. I'm not quite sure, but I think that's what they were estimating or assuming. But I think
mean,
it was.
it's
lot.
the top. It's the top 5 or 10 in the country,
Mm-hmm.
and the biggest in our state. And most of the festivities go on downtown at the Grand Central District, or like Mike and I were talking about last week, and around there, a couple of the local bars and stuff. But everybody still comes down for the parade, and so we're going down through there, and I of course played a lot of new tracks this year too during the parade, and we turned down there. And during the main drag, which is a place called Straub Park, for those who don't live here, by the St. Pete Pier.
Yep.
That's also where they have the little introduction booth or whatever when they talk about it. Of course, I dropped this remix of the Pink Pony Club that I have,
Right there.
which, of course, drove everybody bonkers. And I forget what track I played before that, but I played something before that was, I can't remember which one it was now.
Had
so
them
many.
going.
Yeah.
Very
and
good.
it like one of my friends came up to me and was like, "Bro, it was so funny because you came down the road and everybody's just kind of like, yeah." And then all of a sudden you come down and you start rolling. Everybody hears Pink Pony coming. They're like, "Oh my god!" And it's just like
That
that's
track
too funny.
has a hold on the
Oh
world
my
right
god!
now.
Yes, it is great. It is great. And the version that I'm playing is called the Southland remix. You can get it on SoundCloud illegally. And excuse me, and it's got some dub drops in the middle of it for the Pink Pony Club chorus. So that's why everybody's really loving that track, and it's really making a a big thing, and I played it everywhere I played. Just people go wackadoodle over it.
Very good,
Yeah.
very good. And we did a thing over at the pier. Wait, before we switch over to me, Volume, you were Sunday, you were at...
Well, I was at the Saint Hotel Friday and Saturday at the pool.
Right.
If you don't know, now you know. Come to the pool. It's
Always a vibe.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And then I did the Pride Market
Yes.
at the Grand Central District, just like Robbie was talking about, on Sunday.
Yeah. That
but-
was a time me and Jackson walked down the street. It was a lot of people out there.
Yeah. I think everyone just from the parade just
Oh, yeah.
rolled over into Sunday and was like, let's do
Yes.
a market today.
For sure.
What?
But they were giving out all free stuff. You guys came back with a bunch of swag and
Yeah, we did.
all different stuff.
And food and shish
Yeah.
kebabs.
Yeah.
Did
It
they
was
have
amazing.
beads?
They did have beads. We
Yeah.
had, we had beads.
Yeah, we had a lot of
came back
beads in the
with
parade
beads.
route too.
These, you
I got laid.
lays, You got
Yep.
laid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I
Yeah.
had a
We
But
little-
saw
bump.
that on the car.
Yeah. So let's see. What,
And then it rained and we shut down.
yeah, we shut down.
Yeah,
We had
but
to get
also
out of there.
shout out to my friend Sophie. She just opened her own photography studio. And yes, claps for her.
That's Coastal
Coastal Corner.
Corner.
Yep, it's in the Grand Central District, and she had me DJ there, and sorry guys,
Yes.
Johnny just
Oh, that's our guest today, Johnny.
so I DJ'd there, and then it started thundering and lightning and storming, so we had to shut down at like 3. Not sure if they kept going after the storm or what happened with the market, but everyone just shut down real quick. You know, Florida things.
So yesterday it was really wild because when I was driving downtown at 8:00 to go to Saigon Blonde where I played last night.
Oh yeah, was it still open?
Oh yeah, that was all.
The
wait.
market?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't go by there, but
Oh,
I was
okay.
just going to say the town itself. Like there's nobody on the roads. Like it was crazy. Like when I say there's nobody on the road, I'm talking like hurricane prep,
Yeah.
empty roads. It was
Yeah.
it was wild. I'm like, where is there? I'm pulling up the traffic lights at like
Well, 'cause
66.
it rains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 38
Pretty bad.
and there was this huge massive just black all I'm like, "Oh, it's
That
pouring.
just
It's got to be
sucks.
pouring downtown, right?"
Yeah.
It's the
And-
best weekend, and it just sucks
Right.
when the weather just
Well,
doesn't cooperate.
Saturday, trust me, we were very thankful to the overcast
Yes.
skies for the parade. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh,
last
yeah,
year
yeah.
we did not have that, and it was brutal.
Yeah. All right. What about you, DJ Ketone?
Yeah, Sunday we were at the pier. I had Kim Blue down there. She threw down.
Yes.
She brought all her rave friends out there, and they had a good time.
It looked fun.
Oh yeah, it was a good time. Was I anywhere else this weekend? I
You
don't
were
think
just
so.
at the Saint with me Friday,
Yeah, the same. That was it.
and yesterday, no.
DJ Tiny but Mighty, when we gonna get a new set from you, huh?
I think when you go back to the pier.
Oh, okay. All
Oh.
right. We're looking forward to that.
That sounds like a bribe to me.
Yeah. We'll give you an end of summer set. How about that before you go back to school?
You can invite all your friends out.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
What about the Saint? You want to DJ at the Saint with me?
Oh,
Sure.
Okay.
I think just because last time I didn't DJ was because I was wet and I didn't want to get the equipment wet, so I didn't
DJ etiquette, guys. If you
DJ.
don't
Yeah.
know, if you don't know about
Don't
that,
don't
learn
slobber or
from
sweat all over
Marley.
the equipment.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that.
You learn from DJ Tiny but Mighty about DJ
I did a
etiquette.
show with a dubstep DJ on named Smith, this adorable guy with great big huge long hair, and he just sweats his balls off when he actually apologized to me about the equipment. And I walked up there and I'm seriously, it was a little gross. Everything was just splatter all over it. I'm like,
yeah.
oh wow, he really wasn't kidding, was he?
You
Like,
gotta-
and it was
You gotta know to
Ravenscoon.
bring a rag.
Right. Well, Ravenscoon too. He's got huge long hair. Most people, I know you do, but most people
Yeah.
don't realize long hair is like a heating blanket on your head.
It
It's just,
is.
Oh yeah.
I don't obviously know firsthand, but I just have many people have told me this.
Well, I always put my hair up in the summer. I can't deal with it. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Dad.
It's been a few years now. I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
I think
It's-
you need a retwist.
Honestly, it's like
Shots fired.
Wow.
listen,
A
we're
retwist.
gonna kick you off this podcast real quick.
Yeah. Where's Johnny Boy at?
He's outside.
Yeah, we're gonna get you out of here. We
This
get
is
Johnny
not
Boy in
this is
the
not an
chat.
age appropriate show. This is not an age appropriate show.
Well, guys, if you haven't figured it out by now, DJ Jonny Boy is going to be our guest today. He's he has Chicago roots. He's a DJ. He does vinyl. I mean, we've got a lot to talk about with him coming up here in the next 15. But before that, if you want to tell us about anything that we may have missed over the weekend, don't forget to call us at 727-342-0550. There's plenty more that went down.
Yeah, I was going to say our friend, this is Jeff, who was just on the show last 2 weeks ago.
My name is Jib.
My name is Jeff, not this is Jeff. Well, I don't know where I came with that. He had his accompanying DJ day next to us at Flute and Drum. Now, Flute and Drum, I was with the Late Night Flights. I mentioned this to you guys last week. Huge turnout. Yeah. They had actually a new sound system. They bought these new little square Danley speakers for their highs now.
Okay.
And so we had big subs and medium-sized sub for the mid, and then those Danley tops, and it actually sounded really good. It got pretty loud, too.
Yeah.
But we, that was with JB, Tatro, Jason, Alex, the other gentleman's name I suddenly forget off the top of my head, Brizzy, and then myself. And I got off the float. I did an afternoon set, which was garbage, which is traditional apparently for me for my Pride set. The first one was always trash, I guess. And then went back there and played again around 9:45 and just slayed it. Just an amazing,
that place
amazing
looked
set.
so packed.
It
that
was.
Street looked like it was just crammed.
And then my name is Jeff was next door and had a lot of our friends, Ailment, Bracy, Embrace rather.
Yes. Embrace, what's up?
Trees.
He's on the chat. What's up,
Embrace, we miss you.
So that one, he came over and said hi to me right in the middle of my set. So he can attest that I was playing a good set. No one doesn't.
He did say you were throwing it down.
Oh, I was killing it. I was in the zone.
Tell us the tea.
Totally in the zone.
We
right
know
there.
Robbie always throws it down though.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And then there was some. Electric Forest went down this last week, I believe.
Yeah, we forgot about that.
And a lot of friends came back healthy.
With their third
safe.
eye open.
Yeah, their third eye open. They came
had
back.
a great time. I know Blue went, Luna Falls.
Yeah.
She said she had the best time.
She finally caught Don Bresky.
Yeah.
I have one Electric Forest under my belt, but honestly, the thing with Electric Forest is unless you got committed crew,
I'm not a
and
camper.
unless you're taking an RV, and I'm telling you guys, renting an RV, even if it was with 6 people, like you got to have 6 adults with you that make adult money. I want to be clear about this.
Yeah.
And you get in that RV and you're 34 hours on the road from here to Roxbury, and that's about 5 total tanks of gas in that RV, and that's if it's a 25-footer. If you go over that, it's probably closer to like 6, 7. And people have to trade out the drive. I got screwed. I had to drive all the way back from Roxbury, and I had somebody drive for me 3 hours on time. I was so tired by the time we hit Florida. I hadn't slept for probably, oh my gosh, it was pushing 40 hours, and that was not.
Oh, that's not.
I slept on Sunday night. I'm going to be clear. I slept Sunday night after Electric Forest for about 5 hours, then woke up, and then we left. And I was so tired. I remember when I got home and got to bed at like 11 o'clock. Shit you not, I was like hallucinating. Like I was having the wildest dreams, and I was just, my brain was jelly. But you got to have people that are going to be willing to make the drive. A lot of people are like, I can't drive an RV. And I'm like, it's like driving it. You just get in the seat and go.
Yes.
And they'll make excuses. It's too big. It's blah, 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 and all this stuff. But that's a lot of money. An RV rental alone today, like 6 people comfortably is a 30-footer.
Yeah.
And you're talking that's probably going to be around $2,000 to rent. Then you have the
then you
RV
have the
ticket at Electric Forest. Then you have the gas.
No thanks.
Then you have your tickets to Electric
Wait,
Forest.
you need to get a special RV
Yes, you
ticket
do.
to park your RV?
Yep.
Oh.
And then your general
How much
admission
is that
ticket.
usually?
More.
Wait, so you get the RV ticket and then you have to get your pass
Yep.
for
And
the
you still have to
weekend?
get your regular pass too. So
crazy.
if like per person, big RV pass, tickets, you're probably talking about $1,800 per person.
And then I
for 6
heard you
people.
want to
That's
be...
just about what
Yeah.
our friend said she spent.
Is the RV in like the VIP area? I
Nope.
heard the
There's
VIP area you wanna
GARVs.
be. Oh.
There's better than GARVs. Then there's really nice VIP RVs, and then there's like we can't afford RV section. And because that's what I see now. This is funny. Now this is something to talk about. So Okeechobee popped up here a couple months ago and suddenly said we're going to have Okeechobee Music Fest again, right? And then we all go online and start looking at these ticket prices and combos, and $25,000 for one package, and that's like 10 people and backstage access and all this stuff. But
Well,
I'm
what
like,
does that come out to a person for 10 people?
well, 25,000. That's
Ooh,
$2,500 each.
2,500 person a piece.
So, and you get backstage passes.
I think it's supposed to be. It's backstage access and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
That's
But
crazy.
that's
Embrace said, why don't
you
you
know,
just fly into Detroit and then rent the
because
RV?
then you have to buy everything in Detroit: camping gear, chairs,
Oh, yeah,
all this stuff. You
yeah.
can't put that stuff on the plane,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
so that's why I didn't go. Like that.
What's
that's
up, Jack?
That's the reason why I didn't go, because it just was. I mean, it's just such a plan.
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy. I've never done it. I've never done a camping festival. The only festival that I've done kind of similar to that was Dirty Bird, actually, because Dirty Bird's coming up. You know, I think that is how you festival.
yeah.
I think that's how you outside festival.
Hotel takeovers are nice.
Yeah, I think the hotel thing done right, amazing.
Yeah, I need a place to sleep. I can't
Yes.
be outside. I can't
Air
have
conditioned.
bugs all over me.
Comfortable.
I can't not shower.
I can see you already freaking out.
See, this is you're
the bug thing
you're
is
having
what will get me.
You're having like a 44-year-old conversation at 29 or 28, 29? No, 30.
Wow, you think I'm 29?
I thought you were 29.
I love that.
Well, how old are you?
33.
Okay.
I'll be 34
Sorry.
in a month.
So you're still 10 years short of that conversation.
I'm
that's
29.
What, at like 40. Oh, are you? Okay.
No,
See?
I'm just saying that. I want to be 29.
Oh, my.
I really
Here
will
we
be
go. Here we
34.
go.
I'll be
See.
34 next month.
Okay, sure. All right,
will.
whatever you say.
Have you done a camping festival at all
1991.
ever?
I think she just clarified that with us.
Yeah,
she did
she
not.
did.
No, I've done like all the like EDCs. I mean,
Yeah.
but I've always
I mean, it's
stayed
something
in,
that
like,
I would check
Airbnbs.
off. I would check it off the list. And
Yeah,
get
but could
it
we do a
done.
VIP one at least?
No, you have so we were doing VIP Halloween for the longest time, but Halloween also Nerdfest has skyrocketed in prices. And a group of us used to get a section together. There's about 15 or 20 of us, and we'd be right off this VIP gate that was looking right at the main stage at Halloween, and it'd be great because I'm not massively huge at being in the crowds.
Yeah, me
I like
too.
the crowd. I don't want to be suffocating and buried in the crowd.
Yeah.
And
Same.
and I'm telling you, these music festivals now these days, you go to a show like you go to Lost Lands Excision set, forget about it. I mean, they might as well just put a tin can around you and put the top on and call you sardines. Like, I mean, it's seriously, it is packed, like suffocating. I went to Ultra one time and I forget who was performing. It was a big name, and I decided to one time try going to the middle of the crowd.
I did that
And
once.
I started getting in there, and it just got tighter
Yeah.
and tighter.
Yeah.
And people were shoving and wouldn't let you through. And the only way you could get through is if you shoved through other people.
Yes.
And I got about halfway, and I was like,
there.
"No, done. We're dude. We're done. We're
I
done,
did
dude."
that with
And I
Carl
just,
Cox.
yeah,
And I won't do that again.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
suffocating, seriously.
it's suffocating. It's hot.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm not trying to put a bad spin on it, but if there was any sort of emergency, and we're just going to leave it at that, we're not
Yeah.
going to speculate.
Yeah.
Any emergency, I don't know how these companies expect to get those people out of there in a hurry.
So we
Well,
watched a
Travis
that Travis
Scott
Scott
documentary.
Oh,
Have you
oh.
seen
See
it on
that?
Oh, the
there?
one where everybody was running. Yeah,
Yeah.
There
yeah.
was like
It's-
over 10 deaths from suffocation.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
And there was nowhere for them to go. There
Right.
was nowhere.
It-
They all just
and
suffocated.
And you know that's kind of something that's wrong with our festival scene now these days. One, the pricing, and two, they just sell more.
Yep.
And more.
That was
It's-
their problem.
Yeah.
They sold, they will,
Mm-hmm.
they, they went wild. They go wild for Travis Scott.
Sure.
And they were breaking all of the fences. So there was about like 25,000 extra people in there.
Yeah. I bet.
Yeah, they had no way. They had sold 50,000 tickets.
Yeah.
Well-
They didn't even regulate that.
And then they all came from one stage because Travis Scott had a stage saved for his set only. And then they all came from one stage.
Oh,
So it
wow.
was the left side that everyone died on.
Oh, wow.
Because that was the side that they all
Yeah, they
came
were
from on the
pushed
stage.
in.
Everyone on the right side was fine, but the way that it all filtered,
I wouldn't say fine.
So
well, they
Well,
were
they
they didn't
didn't
die
die,
on that
yeah.
side.
I think we had a conversation one time about this. I'm just going to say a local club, and we mentioned how that local club's main room always gets super packed out, and it's uncomfortable when they have big names. And the conversation was, well, yeah, but they have a fire person rating for this room. They have a fire person rating for this room. They have a fire person rating for this room. But that doesn't mean they just can't add those all up together and say, "Oh no, we were under capacity."
Oh, that's how it
and
works.
that's exactly what they do at music festivals. Here's a gigantic
Yeah.
field.
Yep.
Oh, you can squeeze 18,000 people in there. Okay. And you can squeeze 24,000 people in this one, and you can squeeze 12,000 in this one.
Yeah.
Oh, so that means we can have 100,000 people in here at once, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But there's nothing you can do about it. How are you going to control that besides fencing in all of the stages and then actually having counters and counting, which is,
It's kind
you know,
of
and
ridiculous
they,
at that amount of people.
right. And they do that with VIP. They sell these ungodly price VIP tickets, great viewing area, extra drinks, yada, yada, yada. You go in there and it's a sardine can.
Yeah.
Like 23,000 of the 25 are in VIP.
I saw that at Reggae Rise Up.
They be making
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's-
Speaking of festivals, Tomorrowland is going to Thailand next year.
Oh.
And I'm
That's
not gonna lie,
interesting.
Tomorrowland is like one of my goals to be at, to do something with, but Thailand is a whole nother story.
Remember,
Are you
avoid the
thinking
blue
what I'm
lights.
thinking?
The blue lights.
We're not going to, I
Is
have
that
to
the- is
edit
that
for
the-
content. I have to
is-
edit for content.
Wait, is that Lady Man?
Yeah.
light?
Yeah.
Oh,
There, yeah.
Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Reds are business. Blue is special business.
I don't want to go for the blue lights, but listen, I want to go to Thailand.
Well, you can
Thailand
guarantee
is
it's
Are you
going to be
thinking what I'm
special.
thinking?
I'm thinking what you're thinking. Red. Wait, Amsterdam is the red lights.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right. Sure. Yeah. Open for business, but there's blue lights in the red light district, and that's the ones you got to watch out for.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. You know about those, huh?
Bro.
Have you ever been to Thailand? You traveled a lot.
I did not go to Thailand. I've been to Singapore, and
Okay.
Singapore is very similar. I've been to Amsterdam many times.
Okay.
Yes, and honestly,
would.
for me,
Yeah.
I know people are always kind of surprised to hear me say things like this, but I'm not that big about open out in the place like sexual kind of
I
stuff.
get it.
So walking down the red light district is a little awkward as you're just like all these women and you're just like, ugh, like, oh really? No, I mean this. And my coworkers are like, oh my god, this is so hot, and I'm like, is it really though? Like, I mean, is it? I don't know if it really is. Like, this is kind of strange. Like, she's making eye contact with me. She wants me to bring the money back, and I'm like, no, this is weird. I'm going back to the hotel, guys.
I feel you, dude. I feel like clammy skin is not for me, but you know, to each their own.
You know,
Yeah.
so I think I was telling you guys this before. I had this cute little red shirt twink boy at the warehouse in front of me, you know, trying to get me to play tracks. And at one point in time, he's like, "Can I come up there with you?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." And I was like, and then on the
You
way
better
out,
stop it.
so I've been awake now for 37 hours, something like that. And I'm walking out the door. And I got to tell you this. I'm walking out the door, and I'm telling everybody goodbye. And I told Lance, it's like 5:15, something like that. I was like, Lance, I got to go, bro. If I stay, I'm going to get stuck. Now you guys are going to laugh about this. I'm walking out, and there's this one Latin hood boy standing out in front, you know,
your
exactly like
type.
I like him.
Just your
I'm
type.
walking away. He's like, "Oh, you done for the night?" And I'm like, "Not
have to
today,
be.
devil. Not today, devil.
I don't have to be.
Not tonight, devil. Not tonight." I was like,
I could see you doing the rave daddy walk out.
"Oh, I know. I was going backwards. I was like, no, I've been up. I gotta go. I gotta go. Like, it's just like, oh man. It was like, I'm telling you, bro. It was like,
Wait, listen, man. That's what happens at 5:45 in the morning.
That is what happens.
Pride weekend, especially.
absolutely. It
It's
was
been a great weekend.
It was fun.
It has.
Was,
It's been a great weekend. Should we get Jonny Boy in here?
Yes, we should. Should we hit a commercial? But before we do that, let me let you guys know that we have a lot of things coming up. Humble House is going to be in New York next month. We're going to be doing some live demos in Manhattan. You
Guys,
have
this
a
is going to
chance
be
get
a
your-
really fun event that we're
Yes.
throwing. We
Yes, you get a chance to
secured
get-
a venue called the Rose.
Yes, the Rose Bar
Yeah.
in Manhattan.
It's a neon pink bar.
Yes.
I'm really excited about it.
Yes, we're gonna be demoing tracks live outside from 10 to midnight. So if you know anybody in New York who wants to have their track played in Manhattan in front of some people very close to Times Square, holler at us. We're gonna be down there next month. We love to put on for the peeps. We also there has been some crazy things happening at festivals. So make sure you're staying safe. Make sure you're staying safe while you're out and knows, hey, that's DJ Volume.
yeah, and so you made a point. I was like, oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I
Brand new
dropped a
DJ
song
Volume.
Friday.
Yeah.
You guys are about to hear it.
Anything for you is out now.
Now, you guys got to remind me of that date too, so I can get my flight booked.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna come?
You coming?
Yeah.
Let's
Yes.
go.
I told you I was. I said I'd probably, but I said
That's
it just
what I
had to-
said to
yeah.
Anthony. I
Yeah.
said, I think Robbie's going to come.
Yeah,
And
I
he
said,
said, well, he
like
didn't really
95%,
say.
but I just needed
but
to check.
he said maybe.
I need it for sure,
We need
but
it
I
for
got
sure
you.
because we got to put you on the flyer.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Then I'll come. The fourth
Okay.
week of July, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think that's a problem.
It's gonna be.
Just remind me of the dates.
That's gonna be at such a time. All right, guys, we're gonna hit a quick commercial break. We're gonna come back with our dude Jonny Boy. We'll be
All
back.
right. Enjoy my track.
All right, mics are still open. 1 second.
So come on, tell me what you need, 'cause it's all I wanna be. I'll do anything for you. I'll do anything for you. Anything that you want me to. So come on, tell me what you need, 'cause it's all I wanna be. I'll do anything for you. I'll do anything for you. Anything that you want me to. So come on, tell me what you need, 'cause it's all I wanna be. I'll do anything for you.
And we were enjoying that new release from Volume.
Yes, Anything for You by Volume out on Humble House Records as of last Friday.
Yes.
Yeah. And we got our guest, Jonny Boy, in the building. What's up, man?
Hey man, how you doing?
Very good. Very good. Nice to see you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah.
Wow, that was perfect. That
Yeah.
just is the end of the track. We just worked that out. Sometimes we do these things like we know what we're doing, man. It's great how it works out.
It's such a great track. Great ending track. Anna's on live. She said, "Yay, Jonny Boy."
Hey, what's up, Anna?
Inner Sanctuary is in the building. We got Rave Daddy on the other side. We got DJ Tiny but Mighty over there. Still joining us. Special guesting. So, Jonny Boy, man, let's dive right into it. You are a fantastic turntablist. I'll say that. You know, you got the moves on the dance floor. You know, you're just an all-around great dude. So tell us a little bit about, absolutely, tell us a little bit about your journey through music and how you got to where you are now with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been an interesting journey for sure. I mean, I was born in New York. As I told people, a lot of people don't know how old I am, but I'm 54. I was born in 71. Lived in New York till I was 4. We moved to a small town outside of Chicago called Illinois.
Yep, there you go. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
You're okay.
And so I lived there until I was 18. And that's where I mean, my parents were always into music. Lots of Beatles, Neil Diamond, and believe it or not, a lot of ABBA. So, like, you know, it was the 70s. It was 70s. So there was a lot of disco.
Wait, a lot of ABBA?
A lot of ABBA. A lot of ABBA. Like, always ABBA at the parties and stuff, you know, at the house parties and stuff.
No
so
doubt.
I really got into that.
On vinyl, probably.
Oh, yeah, on vinyl. My parents were also very big into theater. So I was very big into musical theater, went to a lot of... see a lot of shows and stuff like that. But when I was younger, I got into I was lucky where I lived. There was a big punk rock music scene, and it was very like DIY. So you know, like all my older friends that I knew, they were the ones producing, like throwing the shows, finding places to have the shows, and getting the people to come in. And then I moved to, and I was into very much different music, punk. I was into classic rock. I was into disco. I had friends of mine who were in the punk scene who were actually into house music, early house music in the early 80s, who were into jacking. Yeah. So that's where I kind of like started my dancing style. It's like a kind of a weird mix of punk rock, like slam dancing and jacking a little bit. You know?
I always feel like you got this like great shuffle about you with the dance moves, like it looks like a Chicago, it does look like a mix of Chicago and New York, kind of like b-boy shuffle with like, you know what I mean? Like, it's serious. It's
break
dope.
dancing was definitely big when I was in middle school. That was like came out and that was huge. I mean, Run DMC was big. I was a huge Run DMC fan when they first came out. As you always know, I always wear my Adidas.
Yeah.
Always have my Adidas on. And yeah, so I mean, I really never was dancing to house music much until I got to New York.
Okay.
I went to college in New York. I was still into a lot of alternative music, but I got a job when I was maybe in '91. I was bar backing at the Limelight.
Microphone.
Oh wow,
Sorry.
the Limelight.
Sorry,
it's a classic.
It's okay.
I'm not used to holding the mic.
You're fine. You're fine.
So yeah, you worked at Limelight. I was a bar back there from '91 to '92, and that's when like Michael Alec was throwing his Disco 2000s. And lots of other parties going on there.
Had to be a great bar time.
Oh my goodness.
It was.
You're
crazy.
not much older than me, but that's still there's a significant 8 to 10 year period there where a lot changed.
Well,
and,
yeah. I mean, like 89 to 94 was like golden age in New York club scene.
Yeah.
You had Limelight, you had Twilo, you had a couple others. Save the Robots, which was an afters, was a big club. But then 94 came around, Joe Liani took over, it killed the club scene. And that's when the rave scene really became big in like the outskirts of New York. Okay. So like Jersey, upstate New York, Long Island. And I had friends of mine who were starting back then I guess you'd call it like a brand, right?
Yeah.
Before there was branding, they were just starting like a t-shirt company, making t-shirts and smoking bowls, some skateboards, and they would sell. They would go
Wait, they were making smoking bowls and T-shirts, or they were
both. Like my friend would make,
or they were smoking bowls and making T-shirts.
They were doing that too. They were doing that too, and other things. But And I had a car at the time, so I would drive them to raves all upstate New York. I mean,
that's great. That's good stuff.
Massachusetts, Rhode Island was a big spot for raves.
I've heard
big
that.
time.
I've heard
Providence, lots of raves in New York. In there, we actually went up to one in Toronto one time, a couple down in Maryland, and a couple in Philly, of course.
Toronto's got a fantastic music scene.
They did. They definitely
Fantastic.
did. And it was definitely like in the summer, it wasn't bad up there.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't go there in the wintertime. But so that's where like I got like started getting into that kind of music, like really getting into the dance scene again. Like
Yeah.
you know, I'd worked in there in 91, but then like 95 when I was really going around with him, I was really getting into the rave scene and the music and all the different, you know, because then it was still not as many genres. There was basically house, techno, and I guess like, you know, they had the chill room where they play like the trip hop and you know, down tempo stuff like that, and some jungle. And then like 96, I had an opportunity to move to England because I was partying a little too hard in New York at the time. And I had to get out.
And you thought going to England was going to make it better?
I definitely did. My parents lived in the middle of nowhere, England, like 3 hours west of London. Like their house looked out onto a sheep field.
Oh,
Like, right?
That's nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
A sheep field full of ravers.
Yeah.
One night it was. No. And about 3 months after I got there, I'm like hanging out at this pub with this one person I knew, and they introduced me to this guy, and he was like this DJ in the area, threw free parties in the area. He was also the main drug dealer in the area.
Oh, nice. Well, there's always that
That
connection.
sounds
There's
about
always that.
That's how that
right
works.
to the rave.
Right to the rave. And next thing I know, I mean, this is 96, so there's no cell phones really. Even in England, there were some, but all the people didn't really have them. It was
Right.
expensive. No GPS. And he would just throw a party in the middle of a field without flyers or anything, and like 300 people would show up.
Oh man.
You know,
And
it's
it's just crazy.
Is it crazy like when we used to do raves like that, how
Oh.
this was done? No maps. A lot of times you would throw a. I know you know. I don't know if Anthony would know this or not, but you'd put an answering machine on a phone.
Yes.
And
I'm familiar.
Yeah, and you would just call it like you would just call. Nobody would ever answer the phone, and then the message would tell you when it is and when it's going on. And then the day of, you'd call back that number again, and then it would play back and tell you the address.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
Good stuff.
Classic
Yeah.
White Rabbit stuff.
Oh yeah. Yes. Totally. Yes. Of course.
So
So right before I moved to England, I'd actually lived in a house with a DJ, and that's where I.
Oh, don't do that. Don't ever live with a DJ.
That's
It's
where
a terrible
I first,
decision.
I know, right? That's where I first like got my first introduction to DJing. You know.
By being kept up all night by music. That's
And by him like, oh hey, like you know, just play around with the turntables, whatever you want. And then when I got to England, I met like quite a few DJs, and I was just hanging out with them, and that's where I started buying records.
Yeah.
And I think that's where some of my style that I have now comes out more, because there in '96 was very hard house.
Yes.
Like almost not quite tech house, because I don't think there was really the term yet, but
No.
you
Just
know,
faster.
But it was
it
just
was like
faster
128,
driving
130
house.
easy. And
Yeah.
It wasn't techno, because it was like house.
Yeah.
But it was very clubby. It was like, I guess you'd almost like EDM nowadays. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know.
Dude,
The genres nowadays are so confusing. I don't even know.
There is
There's a
so
lot of
many
genres.
So
They
many.
actually have a hard techno genre on Beatport now, and I don't think
Hard
that's
techno.
been there. I think that just showed up in the last month or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard techno
Well, I
is.
mean, it was like hardcore techno. Like
Yes, it's a
Frankie
combination-
Knuckle, Frankie Bones, and
It's
Adam
a
X.
combination of hardcore music and techno. So it can be anywhere from about 140 up to 160 or 70. And unfortunately, they will incorporate that in there, and I don't do that on the hardcore. But I do find that I like techno going at 155 BPM. That's pretty intense. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's good.
intense. I don't.
Yeah.
I can't. Too fast for me to dance. And you know me.
Well, you don't dance.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that was the thing in England. Like nobody over there, they didn't really dance with their feet. They were all in their hands, like just going. Boom,
Oh
yeah,
yes.
boom, boom,
I've seen
boom, boom.
so my
So
father.
I got over there, and they're like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Yeah, my dad clubbed in Germany,
Nice.
and he would tell me that they would do things like
Yeah.
like this.
It's all about the
He
hands.
call it the washing machine. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
So that's amazing. So your vinyl collection is
Yeah.
So your vinyl collection is extensive, my friend. You play some. There's been about like 3 or 4 times that you've played vinyl for us, and each time is different.
Yeah.
Each time is different, clean. It's just another level of DJing, man. Tell us about so you did grow up. You did some time in England and learning how to do vinyl there. Is that where you really honed your skill, and then or you did more?
That's where I started,
later.
And that's where I started buying records. I hadn't have turntables yet, so when I came back to New York in '97, as soon as I came back, my grandfather had passed away a couple months before and left me some money.
Okay.
So not much, but enough to buy me 2 Technics.
Okay.
So I went as soon as I got back to New York in '97. I went down to Canal Street, and this was where all the electronics were sold and bought in New York back in the day. And I got 2 Technic 1200s for $400 each, and I still have them, as you've seen them. You played on them.
Yes.
They're still in really good condition. The only thing is one of them, the light went out, the little pop-up.
Oh yes.
But on those, they're old, actual little bulb lights. They're not like LEDs. And that I bought that a small little mixer, and that's when I met I had 2 friends that I had known before, one that I went to school with and one that just lived in the area of Brooklyn that we lived in, and they had just started DJing basically as well.
Yeah.
And that's when we formed a little, I guess you call it, DJ crew called Brooklyn Trees.
Brooklyn Trees.
Brooklyn Trees.
Okay.
TREEZ at the end. So
Nice.
Brooklyn
I like it.
Trees, yeah.
Nice.
And we would just do house parties, private house parties. People would hire us. We had a kind of DIY system that we would build up every time we got a little money. We would either build another speaker, we'd save up some money for an amp. We played. We actually got a residency at this dive bar that was a local dive bar for the art school that I used to go to, and we would charge $3 to get in on a Friday night. And people actually paid.
Yeah.
But back then we played a variety. So I would start off the night playing trip hop, early in the
You talk a lot about tell it. Okay, so this is interesting for
Yeah.
me. Trip hop. What describe it?
I'll describe it by so it's hip hop basically, but the hip hop beat that with no rapping really, but more atmospheric and then a lot of sampling. So big popular example would be Portishead.
I've heard that name, but I don't know. I'm not familiar
How about
with
Massive Attack?
that name. Sounds very familiar.
So
Okay.
they're the very radio versions of trip hop.
Okay.
But you could look up Kurter, Kurter and Dorfmeister, Nightmares on Wax,
Okay.
Five Fingers of Death, of course Thievery Corporation. But Thievery Corporation is a lot. They do have a lot of hip hop stuff. I mean trip hop stuff, but some of it definitely is not. You
Leans more hip hop.
But then you can mix old weird funky I mean I played Herbie Hancock with some trip hop stuff because his stuff is very that kind of it's just chill stuff. It's I guess a lot of people would almost call it down tempo nowadays.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I've heard. Because I've used the term trip hop and I've talked to other people and I swear to God they're looking at me what
This is
the hell
Portishead,
This is okay.
but this is some of their
Oh,
older
I know
stuff.
this song. I love this song.
So it's that slow down
Oh, wow.
boom boom bap.
Okay.
You can just hear the snare in the background. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm very familiar.
And they're very slower. There's other ones that are very more trippy.
Yeah, I'm just shooting through Spotify right now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very familiar. I love that
A lot of
sample.
scratching.
Yeah.
Usually got a lot of collaborations with different people, with rappers and stuff. There's a lot of good. Bjork has a couple good, ones.
Oh wow.
I have this great album that's nothing but Shirley Bassey remixes of all of her stuff. Trip hop is really good.
Shirley Bassey. Oh, that's great.
So there's a Goldfinger one.
Yep.
Oh, it's really good.
You're gonna have to show me this. I love learning some music history, dude.
The thing about that is most of those I only have on vinyl. And I have to record them, and of course that takes time.
Yeah.
I heard her sing Goldfinger
Yeah.
on the it was the
007?
British Academy Awards thing, 50 Years of Bond or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And she came out. I mean, this lady I think is in her 80s or was probably in her 80s then. And I mean, she comes out and belts this tune out like she sang it in the 60s. Blew my mind. She hits this last note and she's got this almost operatic sound to her voice.
Yeah.
And she hits that last note and she's like, he loves God, and it just kills it and just holds it.
Oh, you gotta
And-
send that to me.
Oh, it's
I need to.
it's
I gotta
fantastic.
see this.
I mean, she's like one of my favorite.
I'm getting chills telling you about it.
She's one of my favorite, like, under-known singers of the 70s. You know?
Yep.
Like her, and even like Burt Bacharach, another great songwriter and singer. I
Bacharach,
know
love it.
people like make fun of him.
He was
but
like
dude,
in
he
a,
had some
there's
great
a movie.
songs, man.
There's a movie, I can't remember what it is, Airplane or something, where they're like, ladies and gentlemen, the great Burt Bacharach, and then he's just suddenly in the movie, and
that
he's
was,
like,
that was the.
do you know what it is? You know,
Mike, that was one of the Mike Myers ones.
yeah, yes. Oh, that's right. Yes, Austin Powers.
Powers.
Yes,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, Burt Bacharach.
Yes.
I know there's like quite a few like 70s ones that like kind of get written off as being cheesy, but like they're actually some really good songwriters. And
Oh yeah.
But anyways, so that's
So you started off with some stuff like that.
yeah. Then my friend would do like hip hop.
Yeah.
Then my other friend would come in and do like more like mainstream club stuff that was like out like dance stuff that was in the clubs, you know. And
Where'd you
then
get this like housey vibe from that? You know.
the record stores I went to?
Yeah.
Like that was the great thing about
You made it a point to pick
That
up
was the
those
great
kind of
thing
records?
about New York's record stores in the 90s, that there was so many.
Yeah.
I mean, and you would go to one, especially I used to go to Satellite all the time. Oh, man.
We got kind of missing that. That's unfortunate
Yeah.
with the loss of vinyl and all that over the time. We're losing everything, CDs, record, all the stores.
Yeah.
It's getting to be like, there's one really good one. Have you been to the one over here off Central? Great, big, gigantic record store right next to
Is it
Dead Bob's.
Is it Bananas?
I can't
I've
remember.
heard
Bananas
of
is the
Bananas.
It's in a
only
strip
one that I
mall.
know of.
I've heard of Bananas, and I've heard that their warehouse is the place to go, but it's not organized, so you just have to kind of
Yeah.
crapshoot it.
Oh,
The
I
thing
don't know.
about I
Let me
used
s-
to
I'll
love
see.
about like record stores for then, it was all DJ oriented. Certain ones, of course, you knew like carried more of maybe what you liked or maybe what you didn't.
Yeah.
You know, like certain ones maybe didn't have a good jungle selection, and other ones did. Liquid Sky was a good one for like jungle and trip hop. Satellite was a great one for like imports and like house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you just go for like an hour or two.
The disc exchange is who I'm talking about.
I've not seen
no,
that
I haven't
place
Yeah,
either.
it's on Central 6712 Center. They're getting free advertising now, but it's literally three.
There it
telling you,
is.
it's right here.
Yeah.
It's three strip mall stores all together, and it's just records piled on top of records on top of records on top of records. It's
and this is really right here.
And they have,
Yeah, right.
And they have
We're gonna
dance,
Central.
They
Yep,
have
they have-
dance stuff.
huh?
They have house and
They
stuff.
have everything EDM rock selection of all. They have as I recall when I was looking in there, a friend of mine, Jay Vega from Puerto Rico, went there when he was in town shopping, and he picked up about 8 albums when he was there. And yeah, I want to say, I think they had about 6 or 8 feet of vinyl. That was, and then, but the thing is too, is like they're one of those places. Like I'd love to buy. I'm sorry, I'm derailing your conversation
No,
here,
it's
but
okay, man.
like those are one of those places I'd love to buy and take computers and just make it all, because they have boxes and boxes and brown boxes taped shut, just sitting on the floor, stacked on top of each other. You have no idea
What's in there?
what could possibly beautiful diamonds and gems
Yeah.
Oh my
buried
goodness.
in those boxes, and they probably don't have any idea either.
No.
And it's just like, oh my gosh, man, you're just standing behind
Well,
the
they
counter.
don't-
Go get a new computer, go get some inventory software, and start scanning barcodes and
Yes.
type. And now these days, the Discogs website, which a lot, I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I know
Okay,
what you're about.
Yep.
that you can buy into, and you can integrate it in the sales system. So if you just put in the number on the vinyl,
Yeah.
They'll
it'll
put it
cue
up.
it, pop it in, and you just keep on going. So
Oh.
I mean, yeah, it might take you a year to do the entire store.
Well, they don't have probably enough money to hire someone to do that.
That I wouldn't be
man.
surprised. Yeah,
If you're looking for a job, you
Yeah,
better get
right.
down to what is it called? The
the disc exchange.
disc
Yeah.
exchange and help them scan some stuff.
But yeah, I mean, so now that I've gotten into like digital now. A little bit more of my journey. So I was DJing with my friends, like maybe from like 96 to like 2004.
Okay.
Right. 98, I had my son, and I was still DJing, and I was also cooking. I was a line cook at a couple of restaurants.
Nice.
Which I love doing, but when you have a son and who's like 2 and you're cooking at night and then you try to DJ on the weekends and stuff,
Yeah, you never seen
it's
him.
not working.
Yeah.
And my other friends at the time who were DJing, they also were like graduating school, getting married, so we kind of just stopped doing that. And I got out of music completely. Like it was the weirdest thing. Like I don't know what happened. I just kind of like New York's a weird place. Like if you're there for it and you can definitely find your niche.
Yeah.
But it's harder.
Yes.
Because there's just so
many people.
There's so many places to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And as you know, if you want to find your niche, you kind of have to kind of go repeatedly to a place or
Yep.
something like that.
Yep.
To find your crew. I mean, just going to big nightclubs you're not going to meet anybody really. And so I kind of got into like a rut where I was not listening to any new music,
Oh man.
especially like dance music.
Yeah.
I mean, I never got rid of my records or my turntables, and even collected more records over the time because I became kind of the record collector of my family. Like when anybody died or something like that, I would always get sent their records. So I have this weird collection of like really old stuff.
Oh wow.
Like stuff from the 20s, the 30s, the 40s.
Oh, wow.
Stuff I'd probably never play out.
Yeah.
But I'll never get rid of them.
No,
Like,
I
don't
wouldn't
know
either.
why. I
It's
love it. I mean, I have a
history.
weird collection of Hank Williams records.
Okay.
I mean, they're like in perfect condition too.
All right.
So I mean, but I would never sell them or anything. I would just eventually I'll tell my son to give them to Smithsonian or something like that.
Yeah. Eventually,
Maybe
they're
he
going to
can get
be.
something for him. I don't know. You know.
That's pretty cool. So you've been back into it. I know because you've DJ'd with us at Humble House and at
Yeah.
Saigon, and at least in the last year, 2 or 3 times with us for vinyl. So like, what brought you back into the scene?
I mean, part of it was you, actually. I mean, so I had been here for 2 years. I moved here in 21, and I'd been here for 2 years. I was moved down with my parents. My dad passed away, and so basically it was just me and my mom. And I was going out to like concerts. I didn't know anybody, and I really didn't know where to go. I wasn't really into the scene yet. But then one time I saw a thing for Derek Carter.
Yes.
Playing at the Floridian,
Yes.
and this was back in 2023. So I was like, "Oh shit, I know Derek. I know who Derek Carter is. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I know exactly what he plays. Like, I know what I'm in for. I'm like, okay, this will be fun. I'm like, I'm gonna go."
Yeah.
And I went, and that's where I met Naomi, a friend,
Yes.
and me and her dated for a little while. We hung out, but she introduced me to you.
Yes, we did meet that night.
She took me to a late night flights event.
Yeah.
A Brian Busto event, a night of drum and bass event.
Mm-hmm.
So then I knew where to go.
Yep.
And I'm, like I said, I have a son who's 26. He lives out of the house, so I'm kind of like an empty nester. I live with my mom, but she takes care of herself. I hang out, I take care of the house,
Yeah.
make dinner once in a while.
That's
On the
nice.
weekends, I go out. I go out every Friday and Saturday usually,
Yeah.
and that's what I did. I was just constantly going out. And
There's nothing wrong with going out.
No.
yeah, and
Nothing.
I mean, because down here the scene was amazing. I mean, there was lots of great people. Every time I go out, I was meeting new people,
Yeah.
meeting new DJs.
Yeah.
I mean, now I think a third of my friends are DJs down here.
But no, that's just the city of St. Pete.
That's definitely true. There might be more than that. I'm just about my friends. And yeah, so what was it? You and me have been talking. I told you my story about DJing and
Yeah.
stuff, and you were like, "Oh, sometime we should like hang out and do vinyl, right?"
Yes.
And he calls me. He's like, "Oh yeah, you want to do vinyl this night?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." I'm thinking it's gonna be at like his house. We're just gonna hang out, He's like, "No, it's at Saigon." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, let me practice some up here, clean some records off."
I wish I'd have practiced a little more for that first one.
Jonny
That
Boy.
first one was hard.
So, not to bring up like back records because we're on a whole different topic, but like as of now, what is your favorite record?
Oh.
Oh, my favorite record. See, that's like I don't
That's
know.
a hard one. That's like
That's
choosing your favorite
that's
child.
a big span of years.
I mean, like that's hard because
Or like
it depends on what genre. There'd be a different one
Yeah.
for each genre. You
like
know what I'm
kind
saying?
of which
Yeah.
genre?
Do you have a number one? Maybe a number one record? The number one record that you maybe would want to play every time you play, or
There's definitely a song that I play a lot. That I do have a version of that I played the second time I played with you. It's a version of. Well, now I'm not going to think. The name of it.
No, see, that's the problem, though. We've heard so much music, we forgot what we love.
Renegade Child.
okay.
So back once again with the Renegade
Oh
Child.
yes, yes.
So I have an album version of that. And it's a Fatboy Slim remix.
Okay.
And then recently, a friend of mine who I used to DJ with, my friend Bryant, goes by the name of DJ Be Nice. He actually has been sending me links. He just sent me a link that had 20 different playlists. All playlists had about 50 tracks or more on it.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I've been getting all my digital stuff.
Okay.
And one of the times he sent me this one track, and it was all labeled, I love it, it was labeled Tech House.
Yeah.
I'm listening to him like,
This ain't Tech House.
kind of Tech House, but to me it was more just like 90s hard house. And there was a version of Renegade Child on that, and a friend of mine, I played it at Red Thread recently, and then I was in my car with my friend, and we were listening to one of my mixes, and it was on, and she's like, "You play this song like every time."
There you go.
And
Renegade
right now,
Child.
I've been playing that one like every time. So that, and like I said, the Shirley Bassey trip hop remixes. It's all Shirley Bassey done by different artists.
I can only imagine. I've never heard any of that.
That's
I
one of
can
my
only imagine.
favorite records. Also, I have the Orb Live in '93 record, and that, I don't know if you like the. Have you ever heard the Orb?
No.
Okay, so you should definitely look at them up. They're definitely
Slightly before her time.
well, yeah, but I mean, shit. So Led Zeppelin was before my time, but I got into them, you know. I got into lots of different
Fatboy
things.
Slim. She don't know Fatboy Slim yet.
No.
Oh,
I
you
have
should
to-
check out
yeah.
Fatboy Slim. I was lucky enough to see him at the Ritz. What was it, like 6 months ago, maybe 8 months ago?
Yes.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Phenomenal DJ.
He's like 60 or more.
Yeah.
And he was killing it,
Yep.
standing on top of the turntables with no shoes on and stuff.
That's kind of crazy. I just watched a documentary on Bonnaroo.
Oh, yeah.
No, was it Bonnaroo?
Or
It was-
Glastonbury.
No, it was what's the hippie one? Is it Bonnaroo?
Yeah, Bonnaroo is the hippie one.
So it was
Bonnaroo is definitely the hippie one.
yeah, it was that one, and when it was the year it like caught on fire, and he was playing, and when they shut it down.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yes,
That's a different mix, but
Yeah,
it's
this is
definitely-
the-
To that.
you don't know this?
This is by Deeper Love.
Okay.
But I love the bass.
Hey, she loves it. Y'all hear that? She loves the bass.
This, I
Yeah.
think, is the
They raise
original.
them right.
Yes, that's
Woodstock. It was Woodstock.
oh 99.
yes,
yes,
when
that
it caught on
big- yeah,
fire
yeah,
and
yeah.
all that.
Well, you
See, if we
know-
talk over this, I don't think we'll get flagged.
Yeah, I don't know.
you know that Fatboy Slim was in the House Martins, right?
No, I didn't know that.
He was the bass player for the House Martins.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. I had
Yeah.
no idea. I had no idea.
yeah.
Wow. See, look at all this musical knowledge you just get dropped
Yeah.
on, you know?
What about like Trich Pop? I think that's how you say it.
Trich Pop.
Trip hop.
Trip Hop.
Trip
Yeah,
Hop.
that's what he was just. Yeah.
Yeah.
But does it like, you know how like, does it use any other instruments, like unique
Oh.
instruments?
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's mostly used. It's like basically like making hip hop. So you're gonna use drum machines for that, like boom boom bap, but it's gonna be slowed down a little bit, and then it depends. Like some use a lot of samples from like movies, like different people like speaking over. I mean, like there's quite a few like, so the guy who did the soundtrack for Good, Bad, the Ugly, Mauricio Marconi. I'm sure I got that name wrong. If you people are listening out there, I know I got it wrong because I can never pronounce it right. But there's a group that did a whole bunch of remixes of his stuff. So it's like the good, the westerns.
Okay, yes.
Right, so they used a lot of that, and they used a lot of the samples from the westerns, like the guys talking and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it's like you got a lot of play on that kind of stuff. So they use a lot of soundtracks of other stuff. So it's a lot of samples. Very much like hip hop.
Yes.
Basically, but no rapping really. Sometimes singing actually. A lot more singing, a lot more women singing on it, because it's jazzy.
You got to send
Like-
us some examples because that's like
Yeah.
right up our alley. My alley, at
there
least.
used to be a great,
will end up being her alley.
There used to be a really good like production group called Giant Step in New York in the '90s, and they were very mix of like hip hop and jazz, which also lent into like that trip hop kind
See,
of sound.
it's funny. I'm not a massive like hip hop fan. I've listened to it kind of off and on over the years. Most of the time, most hip hop I've heard is just because my friends are hip hop fans.
Right.
And it's not any particular reason. I mean, I'm just an EDM guy. I've always have been.
Yeah.
EDM and dance. And But I found lately in a lot of my sets, and it also tends to grab the crowd, though I love house music and where they drop hip hop on top of it in the middle of the set. There's a new song out called, well, it goes by GDH, but it's Goddamn Dirty Hose, I think is what it is. Goddamn Dirty Hose, that's it. But almost the whole song is has hip hop in it, and it's done really, really well. And every time I play it, everybody goes wild for it. And when I was in the parade, I think I played like 3 hip hop inspired tracks like back to back to back, and it really you could really see the crowd responding to it. I like how they use it. I like how it gets put into, because a lot, I think a lot of hip hop over the years gets kind of gets a little bit of a bad rap, or just kind of gets because of of the different type variants of hip hop. But when you use it well, and I mean, even that song GDH is not, I mean, there's no cussing in it, I don't think, if I remember correctly. And it's just done really well. It's a fun song. It's energetic.
And it's a whole different, like, going to like a club where they're playing hip hop is a whole nother scene. Like, I mean, I used to, like, that was the tunnel back in the 90s. Like, you could go to the
tunnel was hip hop, really?
Well, there was a certain night that was a hip hop night.
Okay, okay.
That was like the hip hop night, and like all the hip hop people, like big people were there, like Snoop, everybody was there.
Okay.
But talk about like a scary scene. Like, I mean, like they didn't usually, like, it was like a jail pat down, like, you know what I'm saying? They were taking off your shoes, making sure you didn't have anything coming in there.
Oh my!
It was like rough.
Oh wow!
But I mean, like
I found myself in those clubs once or twice.
I grew up. Yeah, right.
Can I get a Cavoursier? No, I'm sorry. That was that wrong? Should I have said? Probably shouldn't have said that. Did I? Sorry.
I mean, I grew up definitely with like liking rap and stuff and hip hop. I mean, and being in New York in 89, 90. Actually, my first school I went to was on Staten Island, so I was hanging out with fraternity brothers, the black fraternity at the school.
Nice.
And they really introduced me to Wu-Tang and rolling blunts and stuff.
Yeah,
So they drinking 40. So that was I love that.
That's right up DJ Volume's alley.
And that's when, that's right when right around that time was when, I mean, Tribe Called Quest came out. De La Soul was coming out.
I forgot about
such
that.
good music.
All that
Love
really
Tribe
good,
Called
like
Quest. Yep.
jazzy, like hip hop. I mean, Gangstar is some of my favorite. And Gangstar has some stuff that's, I mean, even De La Soul, some of their stuff is almost like you could almost play it right with trip hop because it's really slow. It's almost like, rhythm, a lot more, not as hard. Maybe,
I get you.
Especially De La Soul. I mean,
So it's kind of
Very
like singing, but with a bass.
Yeah.
Kind of, or like a beat.
Yeah.
So
I know this song.
it's funny, you said a Tribe Called Quest, so I put in the Spotify Tribe Called Quest, and the 1, 2, and 3 are Tribe Called Quest. Number 4 is De La Soul.
I feel like I've heard this
De
before.
La Soul.
See, this is what Anthony grew up to. So
Yes, that is.
we call this music mommy and daddy's listen to. That's what we call this.
Like that song right there, like Me, Myself, and I.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or this song.
Check the rhyme.
So this song right here. If you
Yep.
didn't put any rhymes on it at all,
Yeah.
that's almost like, and slow it down a little bit.
Yep.
That would be trip hop right there.
Okay.
It's just
Good
the
stuff.
hip hop beat with some like,
Yeah.
a little bit of like music.
Sorry, I wouldn't have cut it before we get.
No,
Yeah. Good job. We haven't gotten any warnings.
I think
yet,
if we
so
keep
we're
talking
good.
over it, we'll be okay. And I don't have it turned up very loud. So
that's good.
So
Oh, sorry.
you got something? What you got?
That beat that reminded me like Prince of Bel Air.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kinda. De La Soul.
Will Smith.
So you've done to fast forward back into present day. You're doing a lot in the scene now. You've been DJing around. You DJ with us, like I said, probably within the last year.
Yeah.
And then now I just saw you. Were you just DJing somewhere?
I was lucky enough that Jason Kitchen asked me to DJ at Red Thread last.
That's
this
right.
past
How
Friday.
was that?
It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, I like I said, when you let me DJ, I really was. I loved it. I loved, like, I had hooked up everything back in my house. I was really like getting back into it, cleaning my records again.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I was going to other people's houses and working on, like, CDJs and figuring them out because I had never worked on them before.
Okay.
Or the big mixers. I didn't know anything of what I was doing up there. So, I was like, someone's got to show me. So I'd play around, and then eventually I was like, all right, I saved some money up, and I bought the Pioneer XZ controller, the one that you had.
Yeah.
because I was like, well, that like when we worked on it, I was like, oh, that's perfect. It's
Yeah.
got 4 channels. I can hook up my turntables on either side,
Yep.
and I don't have to buy a CDJ, which is
Yeah, we had that set up when you first played it. So
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. That's why I liked it. And I was like, I was looking at CDJs, and I'm like, that's $3,000
Yep.
just for one,
Yeah.
and then another 3,000, and then 5,000 for the mixer.
Yep,
I'm like,
yep.
yeah, no. I'm like, how about 250? I'm like, I can get it all in one.
Yep.
I'm like, I
Yes.
love it.
That's what's great about those controllers.
Yeah.
Like,
And wasn't looking for something where I'm starting to go out and I'm gonna go out and play everywhere, and
Right.
I'm trying to make a living at it, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm not trying to make a living at it. I don't, I have a job,
Yeah.
9 to 5 job. So this is my hobby that I've always loved to do, and I love sharing it. And I really love I'm getting a lot of new music now that I haven't heard before.
Yeah.
So I have fun, listening to these new genres, which I think are hilarious sometimes, and listening to stuff and just playing it and spinning it and see how it goes together, see what works together. I record all my sets so I can listen to them, and I can be like, okay, this would work here, or maybe this wouldn't work here, or this worked terrible. I'm also trying to get better on working with some of the effects.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So and that's been great, and I've been lucky enough where people have been have asked me to to join them to spin, and
Dude, you're a fantastic DJ.
Thank
They
you
should,
very much.
yeah.
I appreciate it. When I first
all
got,
your vinyl sets I've heard have been great.
Thank you. I think the first one I heard the recording, I was like, oh man, that one was. There were a couple of mistakes. The second one was definitely better.
No, dude, we don't even want to. We don't want to talk anything about the first one.
I think I played after you on that one
That's
too,
right. So-
and I think I sat there and I got the beat right, and I don't know what I did. I think the break was on the thing, and I played the track, and it was just like, I was like, never mind.
That's right. The funniest part of the last time when we did it with Psych,
Yes.
and there was I was at the end, and I was playing. This guy bumped the table a little bit.
Oh.
right.
Yes.
It wasn't terrible, but then
Like,
the worst part about it, because he was a little drunk, is that he held up a thumb drive in front of us.
I remember that.
I'm like, well, wait.
where you
I'm
gonna
like, do you not see that this is?
Please tell me what
turntables?
somebody knows who this was.
No.
No.
Oh,
This was
God.
a rando.
It was
I've
some
never
rando.
seen him.
It was like some young college guy.
I remember
He,
this.
he
Yeah.
kind of looked like a bro guy. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
man. God, I wish it was one of our friends.
Oh,
God, I hope it was.
No.
No, if it was that, please,
No.
that person would have never lived
Well,
it down.
see, and this puts
No.
you. See, this is a lesson learned. Is when you do play out live on vinyl, you want to set that weight just a little bit heavier, so that head's got just a tiny bit more wet on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so it doesn't. Because I've done that before. You get it a little too, and then somebody hits the point.
And it's all the way up. Yeah.
Back in the day when I first bought my first turntables, we used to put the penny on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm sure that was really probably terrible for the needle and stuff because
And the
just
record.
pushing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm scratching or anything, so I don't need that.
I got lucky when I was in college. I had a friend who was just obsessed with vinyl, and he had vinyl everything. Not EDM, just anything
Yeah.
vinyl. And he taught me all this wild stuff that I never knew. Like, I didn't actually realize that every time you play a vinyl record, you actually degrade the record.
Oh,
The
yes.
needle will. There's nothing you can do about it. The
Yeah.
needle eventually starts rubbing down on the top of the cracks and grooves
Yep.
in the vinyl.
Yep.
No idea. And yeah, you got it. That's why you waited. And I had no clue that
Yeah.
why the weight was there.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. It's interesting, very interesting stuff you figure out.
It's
Yeah.
crazy how we've gone from the old the players back in the day with the one horn on it, Steta
No, the,
something. But you go from
radio-
that.
Why can't any of us think of this all of a sudden?
I don't know. But you go
I have a
from that-
cylindrograph
Yeah.
actually in my closet, which probably
Oh,
have
what,
you ever
the
seen a
cylinder
cylindrograph? Yeah.
ones? They
Have you
use the
seen?
wax
Have you ever seen a
cylinder?
cylindrograph?
That's really
Yes.
old. Yeah,
I have that, and
Yes.
I think my brother has the cylinders at his house, but I have the player at my house.
Now
Yes.
I do have some 78s at my house.
Oh wow!
And I
have
don't
a
like
few.
you can't play them on the Technics because they only play
Yeah,
33
they don't-
and
yeah.
45. But
Yeah.
I do have a portable Newmark that I bought,
Mm-hmm.
and that plays 78. So I can actually hook it up to my mixer and play them. Granted, it's they're really weird and they're old. And
Mine
Really-
are weird too.
Really? Okay, weird.
I have Disney ones. In
I have.
78.
Oh, I found.
Oh,
one.
my gosh.
I actually found one. My mom's aunt passed away, and I got it. It's Shirley Temple. You know who Shirley Temple
Yes.
was?
Sure.
Yes.
Doing. I think she read Snow White.
Oh,
The
wow.
whole Snow White. It's on 278s with the book and everything.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? The best part is though when you play a 78 at 33.
Yeah.
Like, have you guys ever heard the Chipmunks Christmas album slow down the normal speed? Which I didn't know till just like 10 years ago. That's how they did that. That they spun the guys up.
Yeah.
It sped the guys up, and then I heard it one day, and I was like, "This is so funny." And then all of a sudden, the dad chimes in. It's like,
Classic.
oh my god, it's so good.
So tell us what's the future for Jonny Boy? What are you working on? Where are you going?
So, I mean, what I'm working on basically is, I mean, I'm just enjoying myself is what I'm working on.
That's a good way to go.
Yeah, it is.
I definitely have.
Do you have a full-time gig?
I do have a full-time day job.
Do you care to share?
I am a payroll specialist.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I process payroll for. I work.
Seems
for
like we all have day
I work
jobs,
for
even though this is what we want to do the rest of our
company
lives.
that is, they're called a PEO company. So
Okay.
other people come to us and we do their.
Oh,
payroll
sure,
and stuff,
gotcha.
you know.
Like ADP and stuff.
Yeah. My biggest client is 23 restaurants, which is Ford's Garage.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
nice.
I do a payroll for all the Ford's
Nice,
garages in
nice.
Florida. But it's a 9 to 5, Monday through
That's the
Friday.
best job right there.
I don't have to take it home with me, and I can go anywhere and do it. So that's kind of nice, you know.
I love that
and
for
it's
you.
stable. I like it. I've been doing it for 20 years. I got out of the restaurant business, got into that, and it's just worked out really well with having a son and that kind of stuff. And now it even works out even better.
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
I'm still recovering from the weekend. Sorry.
right now, I mean, I have the only gig I have. Well, I have 2 gigs right now. One for sure that I can say is the Seasons 4.
Okay,
Is,
season
yeah,
4. That's a big
now,
one.
Yeah, and I love that. I went last year. That was like my first festival, like 3D festival I'd ever gone to. That wasn't like a music festival,
Right.
You know,
There's something different about those camping
and this was
inside of hotels.
Yeah, that was what I loved about it even more because I got a room in the hotel.
Yes.
So it was like I never had to leave.
Yep.
Like I just walk to my room,
Yeah.
pass out if I want to, wake up. Oh, there's still music playing.
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
It's amazing.
Jonathan and Zach of Essential Freaks did such a great job.
Yep.
So when they announced it that it was going on this year, I bought a ticket. I bought a room right away, and that was before I knew I was spinning.
Yeah.
And then I ran into them one time at Red Thread, and they were like, "Oh, hey, we've seen that you're DJing out more and that you're doing digital." And I was like, "Yeah, I am doing digital." And he's like, "Oh, would you want to do a silent disco?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah, those silent discos go off.
Yeah, you did that last year.
I didn't do it. Sam did.
that's right,
Sam did
that's right.
last year, and it was honestly, I liked it better than my pool set.
Yeah.
I thought it was like it's a vibe. It's like a tent. They had blackjack, frick frack.
Frack. Yeah,
Oh,
Frick Frack.
my
Those guys
favorite
are great.
game.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Favorite game. Favorite people.
Yeah,
they
those people are awesome.
They are amazing.
They are great.
They make it's such a fun time.
And those headphones went everywhere. Like
those headphones
someone
were
actually,
dope.
someone left a pair on my door.
That's
right?
funny.
So I just picked them up and I was like, "Oh shit, look
There's
at that!"
music.
I just listened to them. I walked around. You could hear it everywhere.
Yes.
It's like, so my set's at 4:00 on Saturday morning. So
Okay.
basically, after Friday, 4:00 in the morning, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm excited for it.
If we can make it, we will definitely try because it's the week after we get back. I think from New York. It's the first weekend of August, right?
Yeah, so it's like Thursday is the 31st. It's like that's like if you have
Okay,
a room in
yeah.
the hotel, you can come in that day, and there's
Okay.
like a couple people playing that night. But then Friday the 1st is the real beginning day.
Yeah.
And then so like that night, Saturday morning is when I play. So
Awesome.
I'm excited to do that.
You gonna have some renegades?
I'm definitely gonna have some Renegades. I'm on Renegade Row, so I think I'm gonna be having some Renegade. I'm gonna have my system. I'm gonna have my the Pioneer XC there. I'm borrowing some booth speakers from a friend of mine, and I'm still debating about whether I'm gonna bring my turntables. But I think I might.
Okay.
But then it's just records. Then like I decide what records I want to bring.
I mean, you
I'm
put
just
the
gonna-
XC with the turntables.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out there, though. You want to watch bringing your very expensive turntables to a camping
yeah,
hotel.
exactly,
Because you're going to have drunky drunks in your room.
Yeah.
And it's not even your friends you got to worry about. It's the rando that will walk in drunk. It's some girl and throws her drink all over your turntables. I mean, we take this risk anyways with any equipment, but
actually,
your turntables are
the
expensive.
The turntable, actually, you probably clean better than the
That's true.
Yeah,
controller.
Yeah, you could take it apart
Like
and
the
clean it all.
controller,
Yeah,
I
can
don't
you?
know if you can take. I mean, sure, someone could take the controller apart and it's just drying it out and maybe resoldering, and that would be the same for the turntable. You know.
Yeah, Eric actually down
Yeah.
south, he does
Yeah.
repairs.
Well,
Yeah, I do Pioneer
spent,
repairs too.
You do too?
Yeah, I've been doing
I
it for a
know
couple
that.
years. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, I don't have anything. Mine, because actually, when I was doing Red Thread last Friday, Eric spun with me as well.
Okay, yo. Okay.
And well, I saw a video that he was repairing like a big
A V10 or something like that.
mixer
Yeah.
and stuff. I was like, "Oh, do you do turntables?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Is anything wrong with yours?" I was like, "No, but
Just in case.
I'm like, just in case. Like, actually, they could probably use to be cleaned on the inside for sure. I mean, it's been a while, and just lubed up and stuff. The only thing I can't do is I can't raise the tone arm. The tone arm thing got stuck. I've heard over the years that the lubrication can get frozen, kind of, and like you can heat it up, which I've done, and it works. But I have it at the level I need anyway, so it's not like
Right.
I move.
Yeah,
that.
yours
That
are
part you don't
amazing.
need to move much.
Yeah, your turntables are, I can attest, are top tier.
Yeah, I think I will say that the timing on them is really, really quite good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, season 4, that's where they can find you next. What
Yeah.
about your social medias? Are you doing? I know we tagged you on a few. What are
Yeah.
your social medias?
So I'm on Instagram as was it Jonny Boy 71 Davies. No, Johnny 1 Davies 71, I think. I can't remember. And then I'm on Instagram as Facebook as Jonathan Davies. I am working. Eventually, I'm gonna do a SoundCloud thing. I'm just like trying to watch where my money is right now because I want to because I've been recording a lot of sets.
Yeah.
Like at home, and I really would like to put them out.
Okay.
So I'm thinking SoundCloud might be the best way to do it.
Okay.
I mean, I've heard other people
Mixer, SoundCloud, yeah.
Mixcloud,
Either two.
I don't know which one is cheaper or better, but
I would say please do SoundCloud.
yeah.
Mixcloud, I know it's made for that, but I don't really know how their traffic is, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
It's random because I noticed this. You'll see people do competitions. They'll do, and then suddenly out of the blue, all these competitions all the time, like, oh, upload to Mixcloud and blah blah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Like, but who's
And
listening to that?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then every now and then, but there's a lot less SoundCloud on those. I have no idea why, but yeah, I SoundCloud's definitely most popular. I have a SoundCloud Pro account that I pay yearly, and I think I paid something like $150
Well,
for
yeah,
it.
that's what they were saying. That's what
something
I'm
like that,
thinking of
yeah.
doing, and because that way I could do that. Because I mean, I'm not looking to like blow up like a brand or
Yeah.
like I'm like trying to be a professional DJ because I'm not.
I don't
but
know.
but I definitely will. I just love sharing my music. That was one of the reasons I really loved getting into DJing is because so I went to art school and I was a painting major. And I've always been a writer and a painter and a sculptor and done stuff like that. I took different instruments when I was younger, but could never pick them up. I could play, like someone could show me how, and I could do it, but I could never. That creative, like for me, for painting and writing, it almost just comes.
Yeah.
Like I can look at a blank piece of paper and something would just it forces me. But when like music, it's the only time I get kind of creative is when I hear songs that like, oh, I would like to remix that.
Yeah.
I have ideas of like songs I'd like to remix. I've never produced or I've never worked with software, so I have no idea where to begin. But that's why I got into DJing because it was like, wow, this is a way I can show my love of music and almost make it an instrument at the same time and, change it up a little bit. And, that's what I think a job of a DJ is to educate the dance floor.
Yeah.
You can go to a club, any club, and you can hear the top 40 stuff you want to hear, and go right ahead. And I don't begrudge anybody playing whatever they want and whatever they do.
Yeah.
But that's not for me. I want to hear stuff that I haven't heard before,
Yes.
or I want to hear a song
Correct, yeah.
that's been remixed a way I haven't heard before.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
that's awesome. I want something that makes me want to dance. That's when I got down here and I got into the music. I love it because there's so much new music out there,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And now I know that there are some musics I don't like, and that's fine. I'm not a big bass music fan.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And like all my friends, I know the guys at Liquid Space Disco, and I love those guys, and they have a great crew. And they know I love them. I support them. I'll buy a ticket to every one of the events. But they're like, I talked to them last time. They're like, Jonathan, you're not gonna like
You're
this
not
one.
gonna like this one.
It's really bassy. I'm like, I'll still go for a little while. I bought a ticket and go for a little while, and then I'll leave.
Yeah.
You know, hey, it's not my thing.
Support
That doesn't
the
mean it's
community.
not someone else's thing. you
Yeah,
know?
I love that.
I mean, then there's some bass music here and there that I don't mind. If it's got a little hip hop to it, a little trippy, but when it's just that wompy.
Yes, there's three big types of bass. The
then it's-
wompy bass,
Yeah.
that's just this weird, like almost ambient weird stuff that you're like, what is this? And that's for mushrooms and acid. Then there's dubstep. Dubstep is cocaine and beans. And then there's rhythm, and rhythm is just out of your mind. And
Is that the one that's well?
There's go,
K? Is that
that
the people who are all into K?
Yes,
Oh,
correct.
actually, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he's right. No, rhythm is
yeah,
ketamine.
Because it
Thank you.
seems like there's
That actually is correct.
a lot of K in the bass scene.
Yeah, there is. Oh yeah. Well, it's the younger crowd. The young kids just love their ketamine.
I don't get it. I
do
can't
not-
be.
I
I
do
can't
not
be
like
sitting
it.
still like that.
But that's how the bass
Yeah.
music goes.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. Like I have friends that will lose their mind off of the wompy, like, and then I'm like, what are we listening
I
to?
can't dance
Where's
to
the drop?
There's
What
some
is?
I like.
I'm
very
actually wide awake
particular.
because I'm angry right now.
I mean, I can't
Very
dance
particular.
to it, so that's what,
Correct, you can't.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, I was a dancer before I became a DJ, and again, as I know, like, being as friends with a lot of DJs and knowing DJs throughout my life, I know one thing: DJs, on the most part, are introverts. A lot of them.
True.
Not all of them, but a good amount of them. And like I have quite a few DJ friends that like
lot of bass
I will
DJs.
never see out like at a party unless they're either DJing there or helping with the equipment or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just because they don't like doing that.
It's
Like,
really
I'm on
weird.
The opposite. I love dancing and going out, and then I became a DJ. So
Yeah.
it was just like,
Yeah.
hey.
I've always found that very odd in the DJ world. It's funny how so many people can thrive and want to do something that requires you to be an outgoing person, but yet you're a complete introvert, and they get mad when somebody wants to take a picture with you. Like, bro, this is the path you picked. Like,
Yes.
you're an entertainer.
Well-
Get with the program.
Yeah.
This is how this works.
And maybe years ago wasn't as bad because like DJing in the 90s,
You were
no one gave a
No-
shit
yeah,
where the
nobody
DJ
knew who you
was.
were.
Like,
Correct.
In
Yep.
Limelight, the DJ booth was 2 stories above the
Yep.
floor.
Yeah.
Nobody really looked up there. Or
It was in
picked
the
there.
choral thing, wasn't it? I
Yeah,
thought
it was like
You
up
talked
on
the church, right?
Yeah.
Limelight was in the church, right?
Yeah, it was in the church. It was like up on the top.
Yep.
And then even at like quite a few other clubs, like you knew where the DJ booth was, but you weren't.
There might be a
standing-
dim light on the
Right,
guy.
but
Yeah.
you didn't stand in front of it. You didn't try to get well. No one had cameras back then, so no one took pictures.
Yep.
Of it. I mean, we had cameras, but no one had phones. The main thing was the clubs was standing in front of the speakers.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the main. That was the front line. That's where you wanted to be.
Yes.
You
And
know,
I,
like-
I feel like that
And
needs
so
to be a thing again.
so DJs back then they were in a closet.
Yeah.
Like, no one saw them. No one was like.
That's funny.
I mean, like I spun at Saigon with Curtis one night, and like, oh my god, it's like it's like crazy up there.
Yeah.
Right.
You just got random people handing you shots. You got like girls trying to take pictures with you.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
Well-
like, and they're not there for the music.
I
at
think that if we, I like what Anthony said. We could go back to it being like that, but the problem is nobody wants to. Everybody wants
No.
to be in front and wants
Yeah.
to get the attention.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We could easily go to Saigon Blonde and I could play upstairs on Thursday night and not give a crap. But people want to be down on the floor so they can get the attention. But also, believe it or not, the crowd wants to be around the DJ
No,
They
too.
do.
I know.
They do
And
nowadays. Yeah.
you're right in the way that things were in the 90s and
Oh,
whatnot.
I'm not begrudging it or anything. I'm not saying, oh,
I get it.
I hate this. And you,
No.
young
I
people-
get it.
No,
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying that we could go back to that if we wanted to.
My introvert self says go back to it.
Well, I mean, I know I've seen like a couple of clubs doing like the no phone thing here every once
Yeah,
in a while.
interesting, yeah.
Trying that. But,
Yeah.
that's another thing. Like, again, I'm guilty. I take out my phone and I take videos, but I'm not like constantly taking a video all the time.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, I'm dancing.
That's the young crowd.
I'm dancing for a while. I need to take a breather. Then I'll take a little videos because I can post it.
Yep.
Because I like to try to post for my friends and try to build a community.
Yeah, you've always been about the community, man.
Yeah.
So much respect for you on
Well, this community is like I said, when I got down there and meeting everybody that I've met down here has been just so amazingly nice and like humble. I mean, not everybody, but
that. Yeah.
on the most part,
Most people.
like all my friends and stuff. I mean, like everybody, like I mean, like people, DJs who did not know me from anything, would like talk to me, let me like stand by and like watch, because that's one of my things. I love watching other DJs DJ. Like I just everyone does it different.
Yes.
Everybody does it completely different,
Yes.
and there's little things you can learn here and there. Sometimes it's hard to watch. Like you're like I try to watch Curtis DJ, and it's like I don't know what the hell he's doing. I'm like, what buttons are you hitting? Like, I'm like, but he's doing it. It's
Yeah.
like it's amazing. So I always like watching DJs, and down here I've got an opportunity where. I mean, like, I'll be, like, there, and I'll be like, oh, hey, you know, if you don't mind, I'm just watching, and then we'll talk, and, you know.
Yeah.
So everybody's just been really amazing. So, and, again, I'm in the time of my life where I can enjoy myself, and I really enjoy the music, and I really enjoy dancing. So for me, it's easy going out. Like, I know everybody's like, oh, we're so appreciative of you coming out. I'm like, dude, this is easy for me.
Yeah.
Like, I know what it takes to do an event.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I know what it takes to bring equipment to an event, to, you know, get organized, to get people to an event, you know, to do flyers, to do all that shit. I know what it takes. So, like, I mean, on a much smaller level than what a lot of you guys are doing down here, but it's still like, okay, so whenever I've gotten the opportunity, I've definitely tried to help out, you know. I've definitely helped out different crews, like, set up and stuff like that. I love doing
Yeah.
that stuff. You know, that's, if anybody ever asked me to DJ with them, you know, you're going to guarantee that I will be there at least a half hour to an hour early,
Yeah.
help you set up, and I will help you break down.
I
Like,
love
I'm
that.
not going to be there just for my set.
It's a good lesson for
Like,
the
there's,
community.
like, one time,
Yeah, a lot of people don't do that.
One time I had to go just for my set, but that was because I was DJing at 2 events at once.
You're
Or at,
just
two,
booked.
at the same night.
You're just busy.
So when you said like you don't like most bass music, but you
Yeah.
like some,
Right.
or like, would you like more soft of a bass drop, or like a like?
Oh, you can't have a soft bass drop. I don't know what you're
It's-
talking about
it's
there.
not-
Wow.
It's not really about
Back
the
to you
bass.
guys here.
It's
We're going
not
to get her
about
off camera on Emma.
It's
No, I'm
about
kidding.
the,
I'm
it's
kidding,
not
I'm
about the bass drop. I think it's like my friend John at Liquid Space Disco and like D Marinade. You guys know D Marinade,
Yes.
Dylan. So he's a really he's a really good DJ, and I like his stuff because he. You know, there are times where he'll get like it's a little wompy, a little bit, but most time he'll bring in some drum and bass beats in there, some hip hop beats. It's not just the bass,
Okay.
you know.
So it's
And-
got to be a very.
yeah, and again, I'm not even.
I
Then,
agree with you.
Even then, that's just like okay, I can listen to it and
Yeah.
hang out,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna go to a show because I want to go to listen to the music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a big
Sorry,
artist Tipper.
sorry, bass fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big artist Tipper that everybody was.
Oh yeah, they all love the
Yeah, they loved, and you got to go to a Tipper show. Tipper
Yeah,
show's
yeah.
amazing, and I finally went to one of his shows one time, and that's not Tipper. That's oh no, that is. Oh no, that's Tripper. Sorry,
Tripper. That's bass though. I like
sorry,
that.
I put the wrong person
You
in
like
there.
that? That's called
Kind
bass.
of.
Kind of.
Yeah, that was a little more atmospheric.
Yeah.
Kind of. That probably isn't too bad.
There, this is there. This
one
is this is this is
Kind of
Tipper.
soft.
But this is like stuff that he'll play in a huge, gigantic crowd out at a festival, and there's no drop, and this is just here,
Well,
and
see-
everybody's on acid.
It's like
Now
Galaxy.
that kind of sounds like you could put a trip hop beat, like a little hip hop beat with that, and
Yeah.
it'd be basically.
But
trip-
that will never happen in his set.
right, right. But what I'm saying is that would basically be trip hop right there. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not far.
Oh, there it is.
Well, a little bit. But this is just like has whole entire like 2-hour sets like this.
Well,
But
see,
a lot
this-
of people said it's all about the visuals though too.
That reminds me of kind of like Orb a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but then like throw some really bass in it. You know.
Well,
'Cause Orb gets very like where it's almost just like noises sometimes. You
Yeah,
know, like
well-
car noises and different things. You're like, what the hell?
You know what? Something one time BT released
BT,
an
so
ambient
good.
track about
Yeah.
7 or 8 years ago. It was really amazing. So we have about 2 minutes left.
All right.
You wanted to tell us one more time where we can find you and what's up in your schedule again?
Just so,
Oh yeah, double check it. Don't be giving people the wrong stuff.
well, we know for sure season 4 is coming up.
yeah, season 4 for sure.
That's
is coming
August
up,
1st,
and,
2nd, and 3rd.
I know I posted about it a couple of times. I think they're almost out of tickets altogether.
Oh, love that for them.
But my Instagram is Jonny Boy, JONN. Hold on. JONNYBOY 71 Davies at Instagram. And then at Facebook, I'm just Jonathan Davies, JonathanDavies. That's where you can find me right now. Eventually, I will get a SoundCloud.
You know, you can upload a couple tracks for free. At least
Yeah,
one
actually,
or two
I
of your
have
mixes.
2 of them right now. I have
perfect.
a Trip Hop one on there right now, and that was all vinyl, and that was just a practice one. But I have it up there so I could like listen to it.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I have this other one that a friend of mine gave me a whole bunch of like deep house tracks,
Mm-hmm.
and I just played the playlist like in order because I'd never heard them before. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna play it in order,
Very cool.
and it's fun, you know.
Very
Good
cool.
stuff.
Like I like the deep house stuff. It's not bad.
One more question
Yeah.
before we go. How at an
I'll extend the
estimate-
show for you, ma'am. Go ahead. What was their question?
At an estimate, how many vinyls do you have, like in all?
I have about 2,500 vinyls.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Which is-
lot.
That's,
It sounds like a
wow.
lot.
It's
but
not.
If you go over to like Brian Busto's house or Jason Kitchen's house,
Yeah.
I mean, he has like 3 times as much.
Yeah,
as I
Jason
do.
got all of
Like, yeah.
whatchamacallit?
Linden's.
Linden's, yeah.
Wow.
And,
That's a
and Brian
lot.
Busto used to work at like a record store, I think, years ago.
Do you even have that much, Dad?
No, I have like 4 crates, probably 100.
But I
or
did get
200.
a sonic cleaner.
Yes.
Because Jason Kitchen told me about a sonic cleaner, and let me tell you, that is a lifesaver. Because I had a couple of records that went through a flood.
Oh,
And
Ooh.
the vinyl's fine, it's just dirty.
Yeah.
And even like the regular spin cleaner can get it clean, but not real. The sonic cleaner is amazing.
Yeah, none of
Nice.
your records pop or click or nothing.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys.
Yep.
What
It's
a
that
great
time
show.
again.
Thank
Well,
you
hey,
so much.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you
very
for coming
much.
on.
I
Thanks
really
for coming,
appreciate it. Yeah,
being
it's
on the
been
show.
great.
We got Rave Daddy Robbie over there. We got
I see
DJ
everybody
Tiny but
again.
Mighty over here asking a tons of questions. You,
Yes,
you,
I
you
need
interviewing
to know.
next?
Yeah.
I need to know a
You need
lot
to
of
know.
questions.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We got Jonny Boy in the building. My name is Ketone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Houseology Live on Humble House Radio. We will see you next week.
Yep.
Wrapping it up for this week's show. Tune in next Monday at 6 p.m. for the best up-to-date info on EDM news, culture, and gossip on the Houseology Live show.
Humble House Radio.